Shalom, shalom. Bless those who need you. Y'all be with those who need you. Thank you, Heavenly Father. I had tried to do a video this morning. Had a lot of distractions and interruptions, but I feel like this is really in my spirit to put out there. The time of darkness is at hand, as we all know. Those who are followers of Yah, those who are walking this faith walk out, but also we soldiers, soldierettes, and in a battle, before you can get to the battle, it's a process. You have to be able to pass the physical, the mental evaluation. You have to be deemed capable for battle. And right now, we all going through that process of purging. You know, as I always say, excavating those things about of us that is not going to do us no justice. That's not going to help us in this battle that we in right now, which is a spiritual warfare. But the topic where I came from was Exodus. It was Exodus chapter 6, I believe, verses 22 and 23. Like Daniel said, ain't nothing new up under the sun. Everything we encountering our forefathers of the faith done encountered and went through. These are trying times, man. These are end times. These are times that, man, I still just be like, dang, what happened? Did I go to sleep and wake up in a different dimension? You know, but as I read this word and as I keep my sword close to me, I understand that everything was foretold, everything is happening, must happen. Everything has to take place. For Yah is not a man, but he should lie. His word will not return to him void. It's just so sad to see that the people who say that they are supposed to be of the Most High are not walking according. You know, if you say you a believer, but you can indulge in the things of this world, or you could turn a blind eye to the things of this world and not be a watcher and not blow the horn, or you could put up with the homosexuality, the judgment and decisions that the leaders of this nation that we are in and a part of are doing and implementing. It's like, how can you see the wrong and turn a blind eye and not do nothing or say nothing? You know, it's down there, like, you can see a woman getting raped right in front of you and you just keep moving, keep going by. Or you can see a little child being molested, or, you know, and I try to use the most egregious things in this world because that's where we're at. And those things seem to be more acceptable than a man or woman of a righteous walk, or who's trying to follow the laws and the commandments of the Most High. Ain't bothering nobody. You know, you doing your due diligence to uphold the way of the Father, of Abba. But you getting ridiculed, you getting ostracized, you getting exiled, you getting talked about as though you the pedophile, as though you the one doing. But what did he say? It will be a time when the world will be flipped upside down, and what is right will be wrong, and what is wrong is being right. I can't stress this enough, because the world done desensitized and numbed us down to the point we just accept anything, and anything goes, and everything is cool. There's no hold bars. You can be the freakiest of the freakiest. You can be the corruptest of the corruptest. And then we're going into this year 2023. 2022 to me was exposure season. But it was exposure season to see how many people were really woke, how many people are still really asleep in the matrix, right? But in Exodus, it was plagues that happened when Noah was trying to set his people free. Or I should say the people of Yah free, the children of Israel free. See, we all are in this bondage and we all need to be set free. But some of us will heed to the things before he said the truth will set you free. A lot of people don't want to hear the truth because a lot of people love their bondage. A lot of people don't want to be set free because they love this modern day Egypt. And even with the children of Israel, when they were set free and they went into the wilderness, they complained about it. You know, they said, dang, who is this man Moses that he done brought us out here to this wilderness to die? I would have rather died basically in my sins to go through what I got to go through here in this wilderness season. And see, the thing about Yah, he's going to get your attention one way or another if it's meant for him to get your attention. You know, I say I'd rather him get my attention while I'm still functionable with everything. You know, yeah, the devil tried to take me out. The enemy tried to take me out. He uses agents. You know, he tried to manipulate the mind. He tried to make you feel like you off kilter. He tried to make you feel like you the one going insane in this world of already this combobulation and craziness that's going on and chaos that's going on. And, you know, you the one out of all this that's going, you're the one that's weird. You're the one that's the wrong. But see, the Yah I serve, he gave me clear vision. The Yah I serve gave me a heart of understanding. But he said this also revelation. We're going to come into a time where many will grow, the love of many will grow cold. Hatred in the heart of many. You know. But I brought this to say because when I was making the video earlier, it was basically about what we put our focus on. Yes, even in this walk, we can overindulge in too much of what the enemy got going on that we don't focus on what Yah got going on. We could take that time to see what this corruptible world is talking about, but we can't take that time to fast and pray and stay focused on the things above and not what's down here below. And I get it, because these things that happen down here is like, it can be captivating. It can really grab your attention. You know, it can really take you off course if you let it. And, you know, I had an older gentleman at the time who was kind of teaching me, preparing me, you know, but he had his own demons he was still facing. He had his own things that he was still going through. And I say this to say, God uses those who he chooses to use. Some for a season, you know, some for a moment, for a minute, for a time, you know, some can be for a lifetime. But the best teacher is the Holy Spirit. And this is why we must overindulge in this word. This is why we must overindulge in Yah, because he is the source to everything. He will allow me to know what I need to know if I need to know it. He will reveal all things to his children, to those who say that they follow him, if you have a relationship and a rapport with him, he will use you, he will use those around you to open up your eyes to what you need to be aware of. But because we are in a modern day world where YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, all these kind of put the camera on an individual, we seek attention. Not only that, we so captivated by the drama, we so in awe about what's happening. And don't get me wrong, even with myself, I can overindulge in this right here, YouTube, by engaging, and in my mind, I feel like I'm engaging to learn. But what is all this knowledge getting me if I'm not applying it? So this is why I try to take what I do pick up and learn and put it back out there for somebody who probably don't understand, for somebody who probably ain't where I am or been where I've been, to give them a better understanding. Because we all need somebody, We wasn't put on this world to be to ourselves. And I'm not saying that you can't be isolated, but to a degree, because isolation is of God, because it gives you time, and I say this in a lot of videos, to learn yourself, but also to learn the Creator, to learn Yahuwah, to learn Abba, through the Holy Spirit, through Yahshua, these words, because Yahshua was the Word made flesh. But also being in isolation can give room to the enemy for what he do. He tries to take one sheep out of the flock of the 99, and if he can lure you away, and I've been hearing people say this lately, find your tribe. And I know it's a tribe out there because there's so many individuals who are going through these battles, who are going through this spiritual warfare, who are enlightened, who do have the understanding, who are waking up. Because again, we are at the time of the great awakening, but the great falling away, but also of the great commission. We have to be woken so that way we can be commissioned. God had brought his disciples together 2 by 2s and sent them out. I pray to Yah every day that I find my tribe. I pray to Yah every day that I can be able to get it amongst a community of like-minded individuals, because it is a strength in numbers. We stand firmer and we stand better when we together than when we fight and bicker and we divide and we fall apart. Think about a lot of nations was built on the backs of plenty individuals who came together, who found a common goal, But not just nations, organizations. Things are built on people who come together, not people who separate, who find division. I find fault in you for whatever may be because I just don't like you. But why don't we take the time to get to know one another? Like he said, test the spirit by the spirit. And yes, we understand that in this time it is very, very hard to analyze a lot of people. But when you have that walk with Yahuwah, he will tell you. He will show you. Because people's fruits speak for themselves. You're not going to tell me you about Yah, but in the back end, you doing all this? Nah. See, there's so many different spirits roaming around. And when I say spirits, I'm not even just talking about demonic spirit, because again, God said, I'm going to pull out my spirit on all man. Your young men will have visions, your old men will have dreams. And that applies to man and females. We have some strong women out there, virtuous women out there. And you got so many children out here that they've been looking for these virtuous women, these strong women, these loving women. But we have some strong warrior men out there too. you know, who these children need. They need us. But until we find ourselves and until we get ourselves aligned and on the right path, how good or effective can we be for the next generation? How good or effective can we be for the kingdom? Man, thank you, Yahweh. Thank you so much. But like I said, I was in Exodus, and you know, I do Bible study with my children because, like he said, for a man to be head of his household, your ministry starts at your home first. Before I or any man who said that they follow Yah can go out here and do the business of the Father, because what Jesus said when his mother and his father was looking for him, I'm about my Father's business. So in order for me to be about my Father's business, I gotta start home first. Let me see if I can find it. You know, and I should know this like the back of my hand, but I don't, you know, but I have been in this word for a while now, and I'm still learning it, you know. See, 22. Okay, yeah, so it was Exodus chapter 10, verses 22 and 23. 22 says, and Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. See, the remnant of the darkness is already here. The remnant of the Antichrist spirit is already here. The remnant and spirit of the beast is already here. We see it in all the things that they implement. And, you know, I talked about this in one of my videos, but they got TV shows called Little Demon. They got all these different TV shows, cartoons. They promote the children, but then they got TV shows for adults as well. You know, Lucifer, these other shows. They got this stuff going on with drags, teaching children, reading to them a story time. But a man of God couldn't go into a library or to a school and have story time. But the Bible, they done took that out of school. They take prayer out of school. Everything is to reject who our Creator is. Because this world system knows who Yah is. As they know it more than we do. Think about it, even in the word it said, these demons, Lucifer, he knows this word. These demons knew this word. They knew who Yahshua was when his presence came. But they say, Son of God, what do you want with us? He resides in us. For he who is in us is stronger than he who is in the world. So when the world sees us, that is what we're supposed to reflect and project. But when we constantly be into God, step away from him, be into him, step away from him, be into him, we ain't doing nothing but prolonging our course. We ain't doing nothing but prolonging the gifts. We ain't doing nothing but hesitating our steps. And understand, God is a patient God. Yah is a patient God. But he's like, I'm trying to use you. I don't want to put you in a position where you have no choice. Then if I don't use you all together, then I got to go to the next. And then we missed out on a great opportunity to be with the Father and do miraculous things through the Father. Casting out demons, man. Like, come on, man. Healing the sick without even no man-made medicine. This pharmakeia. It's so crazy how brainwashed we is, but we think we know it. We think we got it. We think we... Technology ain't did nothing but made us even more really dumber. because it took us away from this word, which is the flesh, which is Yahshua, the Holy Spirit. God spoke Yahshua into existence, formed him into flesh to show us how we can commandeer this meat suit we in, walk it out and do what we need to do. Are we going to get ridiculed? Yes. Are we going to get hated? Yes. Are we going to get spat on? Yes. Are we going to get talked about? Yes. It comes with the territory. Count the cost. Because if you want to be a true disciple, you got to understand its discipline. And that's not saying we can't have a good time. It's not saying we can't have fun. But understand there's a limit. Or we got to understand what we engaging in as fun. Because when we renew the mind, we understand that the old things that we used to partake in has no place or no footing in this new thing that we trying to start, that we trying to continue in. I can't be on a straight path, I can't be on a straight path and trying to stay on a crooked road. Like he said, be careful of who you hang with. Bad company corrupt good character. And it brings me back to the story like I was telling my children. Well, who was it? It was Solomon's son, Rehoboam. He had the counsel of his father, Solomon, the wisest man who was on this earth. So he left a lot of documents that could have probably led Rehoboam down a path that would have been smooth sailing. Because again, Solomon not only had wisdom, but he had peace in his time on earth. But he realized that everything, even being the richest man in the world, everything that he engaged in of this world was vanity. But instead of Rehoboam taking to the counsel of his father, he took to the counsel of some dudes his age that ain't lived life, ain't experienced nothing. They seeing the world the way he's seeing it, and that's the relatable. That was relatable. But he didn't want the guidance. He didn't want the teaching. He wanted what was relatable. And that's how we are with the itching ear. We listen to what is relatable and not the teaching. So we miss the message because we're paying attention to the messenger and who's giving it to us. And the whole time, I done grown up listening to, and I'm just going to be transparent, when I was selling crack, I had a lot of pipers. Just because you was smoking crack doesn't mean I'm going to look at you any less. I just know you done been through some things that got you here. So one, you teaching me, I need not to walk that road to get where you at. But they had some very wisdom within them. They just couldn't take that wisdom within them and apply it to themselves, but they was able to project it out and give it to someone else. Even with children. Children are wise as well. But I know you can't give them a footstool to be in grown folks' business. But you can pay attention to them because they can teach you something as well. Because we all got a child in us. Age ain't nothing but a number. The mental state of your intellect, where your mind is usually where you left off at. With what you pursuing. If you still pursuing those things of a child, then most likely you're still a child. What he say? As a child, I thought like a child, but as I grew, I started to think as a man. I might be paraphrasing that off, but understand what I'm saying. It's a time for everything. It's a place for everything. But it seems like now nobody wants wisdom. Everybody wants knowledge. And those are two different things. Because God put the tree of knowledge in the Garden of Eden. And he told Adam and Eve not to take from this tree. Why? Because we will obtain the knowledge of good and evil, which most of us have in us. That's why we so focused on this duality thing. It's like, why can't I still be good and still be bad? Why can't I still have my cake and still eat it too? Why can't I consume the things of this world and still praise Yah? He already said, if you lukewarm, I'm going to spit you out. This is a lifestyle. And I'm so gracious and grateful that y'all brought me here. I'm not doing this for nobody but me and my relationship with y'all. Who am I to say that I can't go through what Yahshua went through? For if I'm engaged in indulging his suffering, then I can engage and indulge in his reign. 23. They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days, but all the children of Israel had light in their dwelling. Now, when this darkness is here, the children of Israel still had light in their dwelling. Preparation makes me think about the 10 virgins, 5 with oil, 5 without oil. See, the 5 who was prepared and had oil, when the bridegroom came, they was accepted into the party. They was able to be alone and be able to enjoy the festivities. But those who didn't have had to go around looking for, because they wasn't prepared, and they missed out on the blessing. They missed out on the party. Now they knocking at the door. Let us in. We finally got out. No, it's too late. And this right here is what I'm saying. It's getting to a point where it's going to be too late if you don't take precautions now. If you don't indulge in Yah now, because you have the blood still running through your veins. See, this Misu, and we all know death is inevitable. Everybody's going to face it. It's what you're going to face when you get on the other side of this. It's what you're going to go through on the other side of this. And I do this because I really pray every day that, man, somebody get this enlightenment, that somebody wakes up, because we still sleepwalking, some of us. Some of us keep the 1 foot in and the 1 foot out because we worried about what our family, friends, and everybody around going to say about us, how they going to ridicule us, how they going to put it. Who are we? We were bought with a price. I'm nobody. I consider myself like Paul. Nothing that I do is on my own recognizance. Everything that I have and everything that I gain was only thankful, only because of Yah and his mercy. So who would I be to not give back what he gave to me? I'd be an ingrate and I'd be ungrateful. He said, I prepare a table in front of your enemies. But see, just because he prepared that table in front of your enemies doesn't mean your enemies not going to still hate. Not going to mean your enemies not going to still want to come and attack you. Not going to mean that your enemies not going to still try to be a stumbling block. And they going to hate even more because they see the favor. They like, who this guy? Who this woman thinks she is? She was just there a week ago. Look at her now. But we not even paying attention to that. Those who walk in really in this true walk. These blessings, man, these just an add-on. To be able to be in the presence of Yahuwah, man, that's the biggest, greatest. That's the thing I boast about. That's the thing that I'm so grateful for. Because there's so many people who died in their sins. I just heard about a rapper, yesterday, today, dying at 22. On the 22nd. In the 22nd year. I'm trying to say, man, y'all got to start really evaluating, peeping things, see how things is been put together. Nothing is by coincidence. Everything is by design. God said, I uses the wicked just as much as I use the righteous. It rains on the just as it rains on the unjust. But the thing is, are we aligning up on the course in which we supposed to be taking. Because like you said, if I can't use you on this, I use you on that. But he's going to use you regardless. And if he can't use you at all, then you delete it. So my thing is, this is my purpose. This is my will. This is my right to live my life the way I feel according to be led and to live. And ain't no demon, ain't no witch, ain't no Freemason, ain't nobody in this world gonna tell me what I can and can't do when it comes to my Father. Yeah, you can hate. You can do all the things that you want. And this is not a boast, and this is not, me trying to be nothing more. But this is just where I stand in my walk and in my life. And I'm going to make sure that I'm teaching my children. And I'm going to make sure that I'm being a head covering for my wife. Because these are all things that God, that y'all blessed me with. And I'm thankful. And I'm grateful. Like you said, I got to stand alone. I got to stand alone. That's just what it is. But I'm really not standing alone because I got an army. Because what happened with Elisha when he had his predecessor and he had a whole army coming to tens of thousands, tens of millions. But the predecessor was scared. The predecessor was worried. He like, man, how can you be sitting there, standing there so calm? You don't see all this about to come at us? Elijah said, God opened up his eyes so he could see who behind her. And the multitude that was behind them, the angels that was behind them. I have nothing to prove to this world. All my proof and all the things I got to do is to Yah. So I just wanted to read that. I had to bring this encouragement, Man, stand on your tools. We in this world. This is us. This is our time. We serve a great God. And yeah, we're going to get hit. We're going to take the hits. We're going to take the disappointments. But none of what's going on down here is going to even compare or even fathom to the things that is awaiting us. So y'all have a blessed one, man. I understand, even though we in dark times and even though we in the end days, we are the children of light. So continue to project that light. For he said, a candle does not hide under a bed or hide. It shines. I don't have to be walking these streets all day, every day doing what God knows what. Because again, I ain't gonna do nothing but get into something that I don't need to get into. But I'm handling my business. I'm taking care of the responsibilities, and God willing, and through the power of Yah, I can be a voice in the wilderness. Because you see, the enemy got his forerunners. The enemy is using all he can use. So is Yah. But are we going to answer the call? Pick up the phone, man, before it's too late. Because you might miss it. But y'all have a blessed day, man. I love y'all. Keep rocking with y'all.